Hi, welcome to Finding the Voices, to yet another episode of 1001 Thagatchari. Today we have a very, very special guest speaker, Dr. Vijita Ningombam, who is a co-founder of R&B Art House. Recently they had an awesome exhibition in Mumbai, which I was following, and I was very inspired by the artwork and by the work, and that's how I reached out to Vijita. And today I'm hoping that as part of our Thagatchari series, on top of her nomination, but also learn a little bit about her awesome work. And also, for the first time, I'm having a live show from our studio over here. So very, very excited. So welcome to our studio and welcome to Finding the Voices.
Thank you so much, Monica. I was really excited to be here. One, because I've been following your work for quite some time now. And, it's been amazing looking at your work and your website and your pages and everything. You've had, you're doing such a great job by doing this 1001 Thagatchari program. And also I've heard about the other, ventures you're going to take up. So it's amazing that the work that you're doing is like, it's going to be great, I think, for the society and the people of Manipur. So thank you so much for having me here today.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we need more people who are talking about more positive things and bring out the talents and, fill it with more positive content. So yes, definitely. So to start with, definitely would love to know more in detail about you, yourself, your background, your childhood, and, if you can share a little bit on that.
Okay. Well, if I have to start with myself, I have to start with my parents as well, because that's where everything began. So my father's name is Dr. N. Jitendra Singh, Ningombam Jitendra Singh. And my mother's name is Dr. Moirangthem Anita Devi. Their dad is ops and gynae professor, retired from RIMS, and my mother is again a doctor. She is a professor in physiology. She's still working at RIMS right now. And so we have a very small family. Like I have a brother and a sister, Swapna Ningombam and Sashi Ningombam. And of course, now that the family is extended, I would like to mention my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, BK Singh, Brajakishwar Singh. That is my brother-in-law, and my sister-in-law is Dr. Cindy Laishram. So yeah, and then of course,
so a lot of doctor in your family.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, it's people keep making fun of it, or like they kind of like pull our leg that we have like a whole. There are 5 doctors. I'm sorry, it's more now, but yeah,
You've lost track of the number.
So yeah, I married a doctor as well. So it's just an extension of the doctor family, and his name is Akshay. And my now my parents, Uma Manohar and Lakshman Manohar. So yeah, it's a lovely background that I'm from, I would say. And so that was about my parents. And about myself, I was born in Imphal, and then I was there till I was 7 years old. And then I left Imphal for a school called the Lawrence School of Taylor. It was a boarding school in Tamil Nadu. So I was out since I was a very little kid. But I think because of that, it's when you go far away from a place, you start being fonder to the place that you belong to. And so my love for Imphal and Manipur just grew from that age itself. And after school, like during school, I acted in a Manipuri movie called Khamba Thoibi.
So what did you play?
Khamnu.
Oh, okay, you played Khamnu. This is
so Khamnu. So Khamnu actually brought Khamba up. So I acted as a mother, a sister, but a mother to Khamba.
Yeah.
So it was a very lovely scene, actually. I mean, you should. I mean, if you can, like anytime, you should go back and try and find that movie.
Yeah, definitely.
So this was in school, like when I was in 1997, And then in the 11th standard, I think, yeah. So I became a model for a documentary film for Doordarshan DD1. I'm sure you remember the DD1 and DD2 Metro channel and all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that was like in that was in 2003. And so after that, while I was in college, so I went to college in Bhubaneswar. I went to a medical college there. It's called High Tech Medical College. During college, in around like third year or like fourth year or something like that, I had my own TV show called Any Hi-Fi Manipuri Music Countdown. This is for any TV. And so yeah, I mean, I used to
So the Manipuri countdown is music in Maitailon or Maitailon music song.
Did I say? Okay, so it is NE Hi-Fi Manipuri Music Countdown.
Okay.
So it is more like a promotion for Manipuri music.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So so this was while I was studying in college. And then I came out from there, and I really wanted to become an IAS officer and, get into civil services and stuff like that.
Why IAS officer? Like, even when you had the background for
I wanted a platform for myself to start working for the society. Of course, like as a doctor, you can work for the society. I agree to that. But I thought as an IAS officer, you get to grow and work at a bigger platform for not as an individual, but at the level where you can have a bunch of people working with you. So that was my aim to go about being in. I was not really interested in the IAS thing, but it was more for the society that I was getting into it. So yeah, so this was right after college, and then in between, like I was getting married, so I thought, I was going to move to the United States, so I thought, like, there's no point you can't become an IAS officer in the United States, right? Because it's an Indian administrative service after all. So yeah, so that was the end of civil services of my life. And then I got married, and then and I was planning to write the exams over here for the USMLEs and everything. In between that, I had a cousin of mine who's an artist himself, and he was telling me about the background of artists and the struggles of artists in Manipur. And he was telling me how people have forgotten their passion, and then they're more into earning for the family, and out of necessity,
right?
And eventually they kind of like forget their passion, and they stop. Some of them even stop painting because the need for they're so involved in a 9 to 5.
They have to go and earn their livelihood.
Yeah, they're involved in a 9 to 5 job, and then they kind of like don't have the time for it anymore. So yeah, so he was telling me about those situations, and then I said, and it was just about his story as well, like about he's also working in Manipur University, and he's involved in a lot of art stuff, but they don't get the platform. So it was like out of a moment, I was like, let's not talk about it too much. Let's just do it, like as an action.
You wanted to have some action and result.
Yeah, instead of like, because a lot of people just sit back and talk about the people's problems and their problems, and they don't act for it, or they don't act on it. So I said, if you're going to do something, then let's start it today and now. So he said, okay, so what's the plan and everything? So I said, let's first create a competition, because we need to find the best out of all the artists and professional artists of Manipur, so that they are compelled to get the best work out of themselves. So we created a competition. Then we had an exhibition of these artworks. So the first project was called Manipur's First Book of Art, and that was how R&B Art House was born as well. So the Manipur's First Book of Art had we have this we created a competition, like I said. Then we were planned the first exhibition in Manipur, in Imphal. The second exhibition was planned in Mumbai, and the third being planned in Florida. And so after all these exhibitions, we plan to bring out a book of art, Manipur's first book of art, by the way. And the name came from the fact that looking back at all, the art history of art in Manipur, there hasn't been a book that's been written about art. And that really like stunned me, because I was like, how can you not have like a state like Manipur, who is proud about their art and culture and everything, not have a book of art? Like they don't have a place where they can refer about the history of
and
art.
how,
Yeah,
like
they don't have that, and that was pretty sad. And I thought this was then fine. Like let's focus on that as well. And so we started researching, and it was when I started researching about history of art in Manipur is when I realized that actually, it was very hard to find anything, because there was no evidences. People have not preserved things. They haven't taken care of this sector at all. So we went to a lot of like historians and uh, people who we thought might have something, like knocking at their doors and asking them if you have any material, like anything from the past. Like it could be just a stone carving, or any knowledge, like any small book or whatever. So then because they were also passionate about art, they were passionate about the history, though they didn't know that there's something can be written like this. We found a few people who actually preserved a few things. This is very interesting, because we went to so many places around Manipur.
So who all did you meet?
I met there's one Oza, we call it Oza Khaba. I met him. I met another person from Kaching Museum, Kaching People's Museum. So and then so like that we went to. Then we met Oja Loken. So he's from Sagolban, Moirang. Sorry, Mainolairak. So I met him. So like that, we met a few people from historians and archaeologists, and people who are interested, and so we found a bit and pieces of it. Then when people came to know that we're doing something like this, the Art Society of Manipur, they came up and they said, look, we have a few books, okay, like, but it's not we know it's not enough, but we have a few artists that have been written about from the past. So I think they gave us like 6 artists, and that was all they had. And so we dug out those artists, and then they had this one short video or something where they'd written about a few artists and everything. But when we dug out on those things, those were not the actual evidences. Like we could find more. The people that they thought was the first artist that people knew was not true. There were artists from way behind who is only.
So you did like a lot of research.
Yeah, we did a lot of research.
Working on that book.
I am working on that book right now.
Okay.
So then we kind of digged out, like, how is colors formed in Manipur? Like, how did it get, like, did people make the colors here, or did it get imported from different places? Or then we thought about it, and even on the pot, one line, that's also art, right? So we started digging out those things, and we started checking for evidences like that. So yeah, we found a few plants that people use to create colors. So yeah, I mean, it's been quite
interesting. So you're still doing the research and follow up.
I'm still doing that.
Definitely, I look forward for the book.
So what we're doing in the book is we are planning to have the history from the past. We had artists in the courts of the kings, the court artists in Manipur as well. So we dug out those people and their life about their life,
Mm-hmm.
and then the story goes down to the contemporary artists, the 30 artists that we've selected.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be writing about them as well, because someday 2018 is going to be history, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we decided that, why not write about it now and do something now, about it, rather than waiting for someone else ages later to be writing about us. So I said, okay, let's add that and compile it and keep it as a whole book. It's
Mm-hmm.
still 2000, so it's updated, right? Like
Yeah.
till 2018.
Yeah.
So that is about the book. So the interesting thing is, while all this was happening, um, Kochi Benali Foundation, they're supposed to be like really huge apparently in art.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know too much about who's big or who's like
Mm-hmm.
the tycoon of art or something. I don't know any of those things. My passion was just related to art and not about the companies or different foundations and everything. But anyway, Kochi Benali Foundation, they apparently the really big people,
Mm-hmm.
foundation,
Mm-hmm.
they found out about us
Mm-hmm.
and our work and everything, and very few people from the Northeast come up with such art ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of wanted to collaborate with us, and
Mm-hmm.
we did a workshop together.
Mm-hmm.
That was done just a week ago, actually.
So
It,
what
it
kind
ended.
of workshop?
The workshop, it began with we kind of like chose 7 students out of from the Art College of Manipur,
Mm-hmm.
and these 7 students were given like first it was a 7-day workshop. The first day it was like just meet and greet
Mm-hmm.
everybody. The second day was about city mapping.
Mm-hmm.
They had to sit down and map the city of Manipur, I mean Imphal, and so they were told not to show any of the tourist spots, nothing. They were
Mm-hmm.
told to show only the things that were related to their emotions and their heart.
So this workshop was focused only to the 7 participants from Manipur, or
The
was it like
interesting thing is,
other people
we
from
we did
India?
think of having the 7 participants,
Mm-hmm.
but there's so much of talent in Manipur that you can't just stick down to 7, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it just kept increasing.
Mm-hmm.
We had 30 people who came up and they wanted to be in the workshop, but we
Mm-hmm.
couldn't accommodate that much.
Mm-hmm.
So finally, we thought of 8, but then again, it increased to 12. So it was a combined work of 12 students. And it was very interesting because this was not done before in Manipur. Some in a workshop like this,
Mm-hmm.
one that Benali was coming to Manipur for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Second, that this workshop was interesting for the fact that it was just not fine arts.
Mm-hmm.
Art can be related to a lot of things, like anything is art. So giving the students the freedom to think about anything that is linked to Manipur,
Mm-hmm.
but something creative,
Mm-hmm.
not what they are taught in college, not
Mm-hmm.
what like what the teachers teach them, but just giving them the freedom to be creative, to
Mm-hmm.
be to go and um, go above their boundaries, to create something, because that's when you find the real.
So what kind of exercise did they do
Yeah,
as
so
part of the project?
the second day was the mapping, as I said before.
Mm-hmm.
So in this city mapping, what happens is the students were told to show one place each,
Mm-hmm.
and this one place each would be anything related to them and their emotions,
Mm-hmm.
um, something that links Manipur to their heart.
Mm-hmm.
So students came up with different place locations and everything, and the first location that one of the students took us was to Langol.
Mm-hmm.
To We have some pictures, right?
Yeah, definitely. Let's pull it up and
Yeah.
we can look at that. All right.
Yeah. So this was the first musician. First person that we went to.
Mm-hmm.
He had very interesting instruments. to be honest, I had never seen it myself before.
So it was a good learning for you too, like, as part of this
Yeah.
project. Okay. Let me know when you want me to go to the next picture.
Yeah, you can. I mean, this is in Langol, the same person. So we went to. It was more like getting inspiration from people around you, around the city.
Okay.
So this was us, like when they went out for the city map. It was very. It was fun for the students to be outside their classrooms. This was after the mapping was done. Oh, by the way, we also have a documentary film being shot about the workshop. It involves all the conversations that we had during the workshop, all the plannings that we did, to
Okay,
like,
so
yeah,
this is the camera, like,
yeah.
okay,
So
got it.
this was,
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, and definitely for our listeners, many of the coverage are being covered in the R&V Art House Facebook page, and definitely invite you to look it up and check it out.
yeah, that'll be great. So yeah, this was discussions about the uh, mapping of the city and planning.
Okay.
So we had two artists, Archana Hande and Sanjayan Ghosh. They're the two standing here. They are, one is from Shantiniketan and the other one is from Mumbai. So one is a curator, the other one is also a film director as well. So yeah, it was a inspiration from uh, different fields, and this was our first day. We invited people from outside, so we have a few musicians who came in as well. See, the thing that R&B Art House does is not just the next only the exhibitions or um, these workshops, but we are also trying to collaborate art and music together. Now, when I talk about music, it's the Manipuri folk music and the folk that is not mixed with modern music. Nowadays, you find a lot of folk music that's that's a little mixed, or like, I'm not saying they're bad, but
you're focusing on the
we
authentic.
are focusing on authentic. Yeah,
okay,
like we
it.
have just the penna and then the person singing.
Okay.
So yeah, so this was one in during the workshop.
Okay, and this is in Imphal?
Yeah, this is in Imphal Art College.
Imphal Art College, okay.
Yeah. So you can click and we can. Oh yeah, this is my.
Okay, so
we will coming back.
Yeah, we'll come back to this.
Okay, this is okay. So since we have the pictures are out, this is the exhibition in Mumbai. So like I said, Manipur's first book of art had this. We had a proposal that one will be done in one exhibition will be done in Imphal, a second in Mumbai. So this was the second exhibition in Mumbai. The interesting part about our exhibitions is, do we have any pictures from the first exhibition? Oh, this was all our
coverage from the.
Yeah, so this is the Imphal exhibition. It was done in Imphal Hotel.
Okay.
I mean, the interesting part about this exhibition is that normally art exhibitions in Imphal, or like normally, it happens inside a hall, inside a gallery, where you expect only people who are who are involved in art to be there. Whereas we kept it open to the public. We had it in the lawns of Imphal Hotel, not the inside lawn, but the outside lawn, so that it's easier access for the, for the public.
I see. So it was like free event and open to all the public. And that is to encourage everybody to come and look into the art and not be, I guess, very focused to only people who would come to museums. And
we wanted to inspire not just the artists, but students and children actually. Also, because if you look at it, that in today's situation in Manipur, when a child comes out and starts painting, the parents think of it only as a hobby, as a like a passion or something, and then just let it go. They don't see it as a profession. But it is a profession, right? I mean, it is. You can become an artist and you can become really famous. So we are trying to bring that back to the
that's awesome. So can you share a little bit about the response you got in Imphal as well as in Bombay?
From the pictures, I'm sure you saw, it was really good of a response. We had quite a lot of people. I mean, I wouldn't say the number because I we lost count of it. But it was very good
It was a
response.
good turnout, and
Yeah, and then so also the second exhibition that we had was in Tata Institute of Social Science, and the venue was just given to us without us even asking for it, because
so there were a lot of support, from community
I mean,
all
a lot
over.
of support.
Yeah.
So and then when we went to Mumbai, we had a lot of galleries that came up who wanted to bring our work into there, because the theme that we had was social issues of focus on Manipur. So I mean, I will show you personally, and there's for the rest of the people, there's a you'll be able to see in the art house page, the R&D art house page. The pictures that we had over there, each picture had a story about the social issues of Manipur, which is very interesting because people from outside, they don't know much about the state. They don't know much about Manipur. I mean, they just know about, because of the media coverage as well, it's very less for the outside people to even know what's going on in our state. So having so many artworks, like 30 artworks, speaking about different social issues, was a trip to, so it was more like a social movement. So yeah, I mean, everyone found it very interesting, and so we got a lot of opportunities. It was just a matter of time for us because we had so many events that we had to do. But now that we know that we can always go back to them and have any kind of art exhibitions, which keeps it. I mean, which makes it very easy for us, because our main objective for the R&B Art House was to promote Manipuri artists. Artists from Manipur at national and international levels.
Right. So as part of this project and workshop you did, definitely there were a lot of artworks. So for the artists, the exposure, the publicity definitely was great. But was there anything wherein, the art was sold, or if you can elaborate on that?
We are not selling the art as of now because our main goal is just to promote. So we're not, we are just taking the artworks to different places. Even I've actually brought it to the United States as well. We'll be having an exhibition in Florida. Right now our main focus is promotion.
So it is to promote their work and create the name.
Yeah, it's not about, eventually we are thinking of collaborating with the artists and for them to sell work by themselves. We'll give them the link and then they sell the work by themselves, so that there are a lot of trust issues also. I mean, obviously someone is taking your work, what are they doing with it? So we've planned it in such a way that the artists by themselves will sell their own work, will like.
So R&B Art House is more to promote the work, bring their name up from Manipur to the national, international level, exhibit their work so that people know their name, and, it is serving that. But from the perspective of, the income for the artists, once they have their name, then they can handle that part. Got it. This is very nice and interesting, awesome initiative. And like I said, when I came to know about all the exhibition, I was looking at the pictures and I was really inspired. And now coming to know that you are a doctor by profession, you didn't know much about art, but you believe in action and result oriented initiative. And I really appreciate that. So thank you so much for sharing that. Is there anything else you want to share about R&B Art House before we move to our next segment?
So, I mean, like I said, the main objective is just for promotion of artists. Also, we are getting a lot of work from other places as well. So we are looking forward to working with people who are interested in art, who has passion in art. So do follow our page and you will always find events coming up. We're planning a lot of it. So follow it. And if you're an art lover, I'm sure you'll find something for yourself and some event that suits you. So I mean, that's about it, I guess.
Definitely. I am very passionate about art, and I was very excited to see that such initiative, because I know that Manipur is got like a lot of talent, and the talent pool is kind of being emerging by your initiative, like bringing them up at the national, international level. And as you have shared, some of the artists are not able to pursue their passion and calling because you have to have a livelihood, and you end up doing other things because you have to pay the bill. And definitely, by promoting them, that would provide income, and you can continue doing what you like. So thank you for that initiative, and thank you to R&B Art House. I look forward to following more and following on such initiative. All right, so now moving on to our next section, the Thagatchari project. And our goal is, again, as we have mentioned earlier in our show, that we want to pause and take a moment and talk about the people who inspire us, from Manipur, because Manipur needs that. We need that positivity. We need that inspiration to be spreading around, and so we would definitely love to hear from you. For the first round, at the personal level, who would you nominate? Who has inspired you? Who has made an impact in your life? If you can share a little bit about that person.
Okay, this is a really great opportunity because it's actually my granddad. His name is Moirangthem Nilmani Singh. He's a lawyer. He's a producer, director of films when digital films digital films didn't exist. Just the celluloid age. So he's done a film called Khonjel, Pap. Kambatoibi was his movie, actually. So
which you got the opportunity to act in.
So that was, and then he was a businessman, and also right now he is a columnist in the newspapers, most of the newspapers of Manipur. Also, he has written a book. I'm forgetting the socio-political and religious conflicts of Manipur. That was the book. It was recently published. So yeah, the amount of
wow. So now I know where your passion and the bloodline come for writing books, and
I have to add one more person. At the personal level, it's Dr. Lyrin, Ningombam Lyrin, and he was my great granddad.
Oh,
so
wow.
He was a doctor at the age where British were there in Manipur.
Okay.
So
your great grandfather was a doctor, then your grandfather is a lawyer, then your father is a doctor, and you are a doctor. Okay, so that's how the lineage is.
So
all right.
So no, my great granddad that I'm talking about is my grandmom's
side. Okay.
Yeah. So
what do you mean grandmom's side?
Grandmom's dad was my great granddad.
Okay.
So inspiration from him is that I've always heard stories. He was also a minister, and apparently he won the most amount of votes. But at that point, the king's family was given the chance to become the chief minister.
Oh, okay.
So, but he won the most amount of votes or something. So he inspired me quite a bit because of the stories I've heard about him. It's a very a strong foundation, or the background that I've seen while I was growing up really inspired me to do things for the society.
So what kind of story, do you remember that kind of stayed in your heart, which came from your
he was working with the British, but he quit his job and he said, I have to work for society. I cannot be working for the British when my people are suffering. So he went to villages to actually serve them. And so that was the emotional link he had with the state. And so looking back at those stories and being narrated those stories over and over again made me feel like I need to do something for the society. Like I can't just be sitting back and just letting my life just pass by. So he has been a big inspiration. My granddad, of course, I've seen him being so strong.
Right.
And
I'm going to try and pull up that picture.
Yeah. Okay, that's my granddad.
All right. So
that's the book behind, that poster behind. him is the book cover.
Okay, so this, let the picture come up. All right, so we have the picture of your grandfather.
Yeah, this is my granddad.
Moirangthem Nilamani Singh.
Yeah, I wish I had my great granddad's picture.
Yeah.
But he keeps coming up as articles in different papers once in a while. So if you ever hear about Dr. Lyrain, then it's him.
Okay. So this picture of your grandfather, it was taken on
when
the
his
book
book was
release
published.
was there recently?
This was 10th of October.
Okay. So what do you call your grandfather?
Idhav.
Idhav. Oh, so sweet. So Idhav Thagatchari.
Exactly. Idhav Thagatchari.
Idhav Thagatchari, Finding the Voice ki Thagatchari program platform se that.
So I mean, you know, even anytime when you get home.
So you had told a very interesting story about your grandfather, about the song, and you sang a little bit, when we were preparing. Can you mention about that?
This, my voice is so bad.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
So it's a song which anyone would know because it's been pretty famous. Okay, let me try. Okay.
Yeah, sure, please.
Nangbu asum ning sing do na laire miko khuding nangbu kao ge ngamdre lamdam kaida chat lagai bo otha sige miko pamatang.
Wow. You know, like when we were prepping about the show, Vijita told me that, oh, my grandfather is awesome and you should know about this song. And I'm like, which song? And she hummed that. And I was like, wow.
Obviously. So this was from his first movie.
Awesome.
This was
of course, I mean, you know,
Konjal.
Yeah. I mean, everybody I think from Manipur knows this song.
1980 or something.
Yeah, you look up in YouTube.
Still, exactly. And people still know the song. So sometimes when I'm like lying on my bed, and then you know they keep having these lila and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then suddenly they're playing this music.
Yeah.
So I feel very proud of him. Like, oh wow, like even now people are, and
so he wrote the song.
I'm not sure about that part,
but it was his movie.
It was his movie.
Got it. All right. Yeah, that's so interesting that you grew up with all, you know, the background and your grandfather directing and, making movies which are legendary in Manipur.
Yeah. And the interesting part is when my granddad was directing and producing these movies, my grandmom was writing them.
Oh, wow. So it was a teamwork and like a lot of artistic family like in yours. That's so awesome. No wonder.
So that's how even I became a writer, I think, because I was hearing about them writing about things. And I was like, you know, maybe writing for me started when I was in Delhi. I was sitting on my bed and there were so many things I wanted to talk about. And then I realized that, you know, like pen is something that's really, I mean, it's something that anyone can read once you write it down. And so as soon as I wrote one article, I just sent it off to Imphal Free Press. They were very, I mean, it's really good that they published my article.
They are very supportive.
Being so supportive. So they published my article, and that was when I actually found out the strength of the pen as well.
Yes, definitely. Yes, definitely.
So then I never stopped writing after that. So I have my own blog as well. It's called bubbletheblog.com. So I write short stories and things that matter.
Yeah, definitely.
And so this was, but I'm right now R&B Art House is my main focus, but love for writing it's
has always been there. Yeah, definitely. Yes. All right. So anything else you want to add about your grandfather? And definitely I would love to meet him and learn more and, you know, have him talk about it. All righty. So moving on to the next nomination, nominate someone at the level of Manipur, for their contribution, for their work, for inspiring us to contribute, in the society relevant to Manipur.
This would be my co-founder, Robin Wahengbam.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of work he's done for Manipur has been buried somewhere in one corner.
Mm.
The reason why we started R&B Art House as well, that we need to promote such artists.
Mm-hmm.
So he was the one who drew the mascot for the national games that
Mm-hmm.
happened in Manipur. He has been done book covers of Chaitha Roll and like books like that, which really matter for the state.
Mm.
And yeah, so I mean, not just that, he's done the Sangai festivals. He's been designing the ambiences of the Sangai festivals, and there's a whole list.
Mm.
And I think he needs to be, you need to talk to him and find out more from what he does, what what he's done for the state actually.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, he would be the one for me.
Means like you are inspired by his artistic creativity and contribution in bringing out, in the major events of Manipur, which is kind of showcasing, right, the image and the culture and art.
More than his art, I'm inspired by his quietness. That after doing so much of work, he's still quiet, not promoting himself or trying to show off that, I've done something. He's just quietly doing something for the society. And that inspired me.
Wow. Awesome. So definitely I would be looking up more. And like I said, for us, our aim is once we have identified the 1001 people of Manipur, we definitely want to meet them in person, know about their work, and compile a book, so that people know about it, right? Like, I mean, we know bits and pieces about everyone, but we don't know like so much about it. And like you're saying that, Robin Wahengbam does so much, but he's so quiet and he is not a self-promoter. And I think it is our responsibility that we, pick it up and bring out and talk more about, the talented people. So yeah, definitely. Thank you for nominating him at the level of Manipur as an artist, and we definitely want to, from your work and from the initiative of R&V Art House, we definitely know, like, what his initiative must be. So coming to the third one, at the level of the global, like who inspires you or who motivates you at the global level?
Okay, so when it comes to this...
Oh, wait, sorry. I forgot to share a picture. All right, so we have a picture of Robin Wahengbam, artist and co-founder of R&V Art House, nominated by Dr. Vijita Ningombam for 1001 Thagatchari Gratitude Project of Manipur.
Can I clap?
Yeah, I know, we should. We should have some background music.
Exactly.
So, yes, definitely. All right. So, yeah, we were talking about the global nomination.
This one is a tough call, okay, for me, because I wouldn't choose someone specific, because to be very honest, there isn't someone that I'm like, okay, this is the perfect person that I mean, people are not perfect, okay, like there's some things I'm good at, some whatever. So, but I get inspired by every strong woman like yourself.
Oh, wow.
So it could be anyone on the road, it could be anyone in a restaurant, or someone that I have a conversation with, or mom's friends, or anybody. I believe every strong woman has something to teach you, and that's what I'm inspired by. Each and every strong woman of the world. Keep doing what you do. You're just best at what you do, and don't just give up. So I'm just inspired by each and every one of them. So I wouldn't give one specific name. And
so that is like a Thagatchari for all the women in the world who are stepping up. And in many of the things, we know that women still has like lots more miles ahead to catch up. So definitely, I would echo with you, and I really admire many of the work of women, and under very challenging circumstances to come out and do what they have to do. So awesome. All right. Is there anything else you want to add before our session
No, I think,
ends?
just go to the R&B Art House. You'll find out what's going on there. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So, thank you very much. And what I wanted to do today was
These are the
generally
cards that you make.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
generally we, as part of the Thagatchari show, what we have done was, we are promoting expression, and we have a greeting card series, and we are starting with flowers of Manipur, and these pictures are contributed by the people of Manipur, and particularly for this, it's contributed by Ronald Maitai. And we give the credit at the back of our greeting card. And what we want to do is we want to start writing our feelings, express it, whether it is something about love or something which we are not able to express, right? Writing, as you said, it gives a lot of power, and I believe that it would connect all of us, because sometimes speaking is good, but I think writing can really bring out what you want to convey. So, as part of our Thagatchari show, our aim is to, write about gratitude for the people who we are talking about. And Finding the Voices would definitely be sending thank you cards to our participants. And since we have our guest speaker here right now, I wanted to take the opportunity to give this to you. This is one of the greeting card, and to encourage you to write thank you to the person you have nominated at your personal level, which would be your grandfather.
Yeah.
And we definitely have more greeting card, in our website, which we are.
I must say this is beautiful.
Yes,
yeah.
and we have more. We have more.
So you have pictures taken from people. Like, it's not. These are photographs, right?
Yes. These are photographs, and we definitely encourage photographers to contribute, to our Thagatchari show, because this is a good platform for us to utilize the flowers of Manipur and be promoted and be used by many people in writing the expression. And this is a special card for you, from my side, to show you my deepest gratitude. And what I have written here, actually, this is the first time I'm sharing it with our viewer. And every participant who have participated in the 1001 Thagatchari will be getting this. And what I have written here is my deepest gratitude for participating in 1001 Thagatchari project. It takes only special people to initiate change. You have contributed in connecting and building the strength of our community by sharing your gratitude. So continue spreading your positivity.
Have it.
There you go.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. So with that, we will be ending today's session. And as always, thank you for listening. Keep sharing our video. Subscribe our YouTube channel. We want to continue promoting and spreading the positivity and voices for the people of Manipur. And, we are looking for 1001 people of Manipur. So we are just in the beginning. So come on up, sign up, and, share your gratitude and inspiration to the people. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. This was great.